When you are engaged on the spiritual path, you realize how many roles you can play. You can play the role of a student, of course. You are learning, and you can also play the role of a teacher. You are teaching first and foremost yourself. You learn from the Supreme Teacher how to be a good tutor to yourself. And then you play the role of a mother and a father. You become the mother of the little sapling that you have planted, the sapling of virtues and qualities and specialities that are emerged from the soul. And you have that love and compassion, and you give sustenance to that little sapling. Like a good mother, like a good father, you grow it with love and nourishment and acceptance and tolerance. And all that virtues come naturally to you when you consider yourself a soul that plays a role of a mother and a father. You are not an ordinary human being. You are a soul who helps God in his task of creating heaven on earth. In this task, the role that you take on is also a role of soothing the minds of many others. First of all, of course, you know how to soothe the mind of yourself, how to keep that mind happy and content. And one way to keep our minds happy and content is to speak to our minds, like you would tell a story to your mind. A story is a way of soothing our heart. A story is a way of removing fear and anxiety. A story is a way to introduce new concepts, new examples, and to learn. A story is a way to give courage and to give power to others in a very subtle way, a way that is accepted by the mind and the intellect. A story is a way to overcome fear and to bypass ego and criticism. Whatever you hear in the form of a story, it's easily accepted. A story is a way to teach yourself simple things through examples. So here, as well as a good mother of your mind, you speak slowly to your mind. You speak in simple terms, nothing complicated. And you tell the mind a story. Look, mind, you have to obey the soul. The soul is a sovereign. The soul is like a tiny star of light that lives in the supreme abode, a world of light. So you tell the mind a beautiful story about a beautiful eternal home, and the mind will become peaceful and quiet. You speak to the mind, listen, mind. I am telling you the story of this soul when it comes on the planet Earth, when it takes first a beautiful, perfect body and it experiences only happiness. So the mind becomes happy that it has been a period when there was no sorrow, and that period of time will come again. And then again you explain to the mind, mind, have patience. There have been days of sorrow, there have been days of darkness and ignorance, but now that days will finish. You will be able to experience happiness once again. You explain to the mind with calm, with reassurance. Look, mind, this was a cycle. You started happy, you continued with love, and you finished with a little bit of sorrow. But have patience, that sorrow will now finish. It is a cycle. The good times that were in the past will come again in the future. So, in this way, use a soul on the spiritual journey, learn how to deal with the mind by telling the mind the beautiful story of your journey. This will keep the mind reassured. Mind is like a child. We have to speak to a child with patience and love. We cannot shout at the child and expect the child to be happy. And also, we cannot put the child in a corner. We cannot isolate it. We cannot tell the child, don't think, don't speak, remain quiet. The mind's role is to speak, to create thoughts. Like a child, you cannot stop a child in speaking or thinking by punishing the child. So, the way to deal with your mind is to have patience, to have love, to explain, to tell stories. Why not sing a song? Sing a soothing lullaby song to the mind. Explain to the mind and make it feel relaxed and peaceful and quiet. And then you can tell the mind, now I don't need you. Just remain quiet. Be silent. Stay quiet and silent, and I will call you when I will need you. This is a foundation of yoga, being able to rule your mind and your sense organs. And then you also need to play the part of a good teacher of the intellect. The intellect is a drive that takes you to the destination. The intellect is a vehicle. And the intellect is the one that has all the powers. By being so powerful, an intellect can develop arrogance, can develop bossiness, can develop overconfidence, that there is no one like me. I am the smartest. I am the best. I decide what to do, how to do, when to do. That is the arrogance of the intellect. So again, like a good mother for yourself, you will have to learn how to deal with the intellect, how to stop imagination, how to create attention, how to create focus, how to make the intellect fully focused. This is a story of the third eye. The intellect is a third eye, is a divine vision. What do you do to create a good vision? What do you do to have a perfect, healthy, functional third eye? You have to look after your vision, after your eyes. How? First of all, sleep, rest the eyes. Secondly, live in a healthy environment without dust, without dirt. And thirdly, practice that vision in different ways. So here as well, the intellect needs a rest. It needs to be able to stop imagining things, focusing, concentrating. This is not a labor. We don't have to make the intellect a slave that works hard day and night. You remain light and you follow the Supreme Soul. By following the Supreme Soul, you don't use your intellect. You just follow His decisions. You do what He is doing. and then your intellect is resting. And then you also have to live in a healthy spiritual environment where the intellect is not polluted with harsh words, with falsehood, with lies, with impure images, impure food, impure relationships. So make everything around you and within you clean, clean and clear. And then you also have to practice your vision, your third eye. One moment you look at the supreme world, one moment you look at the angelic world, one moment you look at your task as a karma yogi here, and you keep spinning this. Different forms, different visions, different positions, and then the eyes are happy. When you move your eyes left, right, left, right, left, right, the eyes are happy. They are exercised in a gentle, useful way. Same with the intellect, the third eye. It needs exercise, practice. Go up above in the soul world in a second. Go to the subtle region of angels in a second. And then come here as a karma yogi in a second. That will exercise the divine vision. So now, today, play that role of a good mother of the mind and the intellect. Sing that lullaby, a lullaby that is soothing the mind and is giving some rest to the intellect. Oh, my beautiful mind, my eternal mind that has served me for such a long time. You are a wonderful instrument, and you are loved by all. Now, beautiful mind, go and rest. Stay quiet, and you, the best intellect, sharp and powerful and clear, you can also keep your focus on me, the soul. Look at the image of the soul and the supreme soul. Keep it simple, oh intellect. Make your life simple. Do not bring any other images, any other distractions. Be humble, be modest, be quiet. In this way, by singing like this to your mind and your intellect, you will experience very beautiful experiences of yoga, of connection, of virtues, of peace, of heaven. You will feel that you are in heaven. You will feel you are the companion of the Supreme Soul. You will feel you are the companion of angels. So today, practice telling beautiful stories to your mind and your intellect.